Hi students, how was your project? We had the project that you had in the last lesson. I hope that you chose a nice figure to talk about and a really inspiring one. Now we had this project, it was the end of your Unit 2. We had this kind of discussion. Now to think about someone who really has inspired and may inspire more, make your presentation interesting, and also I asked you to make a kind of map or a kind of timeline to follow the person's achievements, either it is a male or a female, and also following the things or the details that we have here on the way. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you chose someone that you were able to discuss with your friends or your classmates. Now moving on, there is something. We have here achievements, inspire, to create and achieve more. Now if you notice that between Unit 1 and Unit 2 there was a connection because we connected between teamwork and then we moved to individuals who were well known because they were poor, and then they turned into something very famous and they achieved a lot in their lives. And from this idea we have here achievements, inspire, to create and achieve more. Now you can understand this when you have done something. When you feel that you have achieved something, you will get inspired and excited to do more and more. Whenever you accomplish something, you think about the next step, you think about what you are going to do, and all of the things you are thinking about are where? They are in the future. You are planning for your future. So this is our third unit that we are going to start with. We have here the first one was 2 is better than 1. We have rags to riches. And the third one is what will they think of next? What will they think of next? So the title of the unit, there are 2 words that give you the meaning that I want. We have here the word will and next. Why? Because both of them focus on the future part. We are planning, we are looking at something that is still not happening at the moment. So what comes in your mind? When you hear the word future, anyone who hears the word future, what comes in your mind when you hear this word? There is a question in your book. What things that we take for granted today did people not have 100 years ago? So to think about the future, it will be easier to think about things that we feel that they are normal. We take them for granted, although they didn't have them before 100 years. Now, if you start listing, you will not finish, starting with our lifestyle, our clothes, the way we eat, our phones, the internet, our computers, the transportation, and so on. So everything is totally different from the things that we had before. Also, there's another question here. To name a discovery or development that you think people will have or use 100 years from now. So here, you can think about things that are not happening at the moment, but they can help, or they can, happen in the future part. So just use your imagination and think about things that may happen, not now, not next year, after 100 years, what can happen? These are some pictures of things that may happen in the future. Now these things, if you can see, they are all related to something which is technology. We have here a lot of people, when they hear the word future, it comes to mind technology, machines, flying cars, flying devices, and so on. So a lot of people, they have this kind of idea. But the future does not just mean that. Changes could be in many things. So some people but they are not as much as the first part. They think about different things about the future. They can think about their future, their studies, what are they going to do. There are a lot of ways to relate to the future. Here, we are going to see in the book, page number 34 in your books, we are going to discuss changes in the future that are not related to technology as we just saw in the pictures. So we have our map as usual. Our unit is going to start with the first lesson, which is listen and discuss. Our learning objectives are to enumerate future predictions in different domains, recount other kinds of predictions, select words that predict future changes from the text, examine predictions and determine how true they are, give the meaning of new vocabulary. So predictions from the verb predict. I am looking for something that is still not happening at the moment, predicting for the future, close to thinking, but related to the future. We're going to see the predictions. Here, this is the first part that you have in your book. It is the introduction part. Now I'm going to read and you are going to just outline or underline the basic ideas that we have. Still, we have not started yet, but together we can read. In 1900, a popular American magazine called Ladies' Home Journal published an article called What May Happen in the Next 100 Years, making predictions about what life would be like in the year 2001. Read and discuss the predictions. So just imagine that the article that we are going to discuss, it was written in 1900 and it was predicting something that is going to happen in 2001. Now, which year are we now? We are in 2020. So it is a little bit strange that we are predicting something that happened years ago. But here it is an old article. They are just imagining what may happen in 2001. Now you are going to just use your imagination and just try to live year 1900 to understand how did they view the future. Now basically in the book, this is the introduction. We have here the two questions in the beginning that we discussed. They are the start of your lesson. Yes. Now when I mentioned that the future is not just related with technology, there are things that you can relate to. Now it's your turn to think, and we can list some of the things that may change in the future that are not related, as we said, to technology or to electronics. So we can say, for example, people, language, transportation, traffic, media, deliveries, and communication. So you can see that using technology is just a small part of the changes that may happen in the future, depending on the article that we have. So we are going to start with it. Now, before we start, we have, as usual, the vocabulary that you are going to pass by. So I'm going to read the vocab. We are going to just see the meanings, but you don't have to do it all immediately. We can just make sure of the meanings before, and then we'll do it. So the first one, circuits, condensed, determined, you can remember the ED also, extensively, rank, span. So these are the words that we have in the second page, which is page number 35. You have the exercise for the vocab. Now, just to read very quickly the meanings, maybe you know some of these words, but you are not exactly sure what does it mean. Maybe you are. Just to pass by very quickly, we have A, extend across, shortened. C, covering a wide range or area. D, position in an ordered group. E, paths for electrical currents. F, decided. So here, these are the meanings. Maybe some of them you can relate to the words. If not, you're okay. We're going to do it. So here, let's start. Now you are going to listen to me carefully while I'm reading the texts. Now put in mind, what are you going to do when I am reading? These are your questions. What predictions are in each part? What predictions? Now each part there is a prediction for the future. What are the predictions? And then which have come true and which have not come true. So basically some, yes, they have happened. We know now that they happened. And some, no. We're going to see. So listen to me. I'm just going to read first, and then you are going to outline the basic predictions that we have, and then we will decide, have they come true or not? And of course you will know. So the first part here we have is about people. People will be taller by 1 to 2 inches. This increases in height, or this increase in height will be a result of better health due to improvements in medicine, sanitation, and diet. The average life expectancy will have risen from the current age of 35 to the age of 50. So this is the first part. Now when you look at this part, just look at the predictions that we have. Now the first one is a little bit strange, which is people will be taller. Do you think people changed? Being taller? No, nothing changed. We have also the average life expectancy will have risen from the current age of 35 to the age of 50. Actually, yes. But this here happened due to, for example, let's say better health care, the environment got better, maybe people got more comfortable in their lives, they are not poor like before. So that's why the average expectancy was 35 and now it is 50. So this one is going to be true. So the first paragraph or part, you know it now. We're going to do the same with the other parts. Let's start. Okay, for the language. What changed, or what are the predictions for the language? Now just imagine, there will be no C, X, or Q in the English alphabet, as these letters will have been determined to be unnecessary. Spelling by sound will have been adopted. English will have become a language of condensed words. English will also be more extensively spoken than any other language. Russian will rank second. So let's see here. Here you have 4 ideas or 4 predictions. The first one. Now this is a funny one because we know that it is not true, which is there will be no C, X, or Q in the English alphabet. Why? Because these letters will have been determined. So we have here the word determined. This is one of the words that we had before we passed by. I can show you just a picture here, like this boy here. Now he sees that everything is possible. There is nothing impossible. He is determined to do anything. He is sure that he can do anything. So some things, they can be determined, means that I am sure that they will happen. This is the first word. So what do you think about the prediction? Do you think it's true or not? Of course, we know that it is not true. The second one, we can see, spelling by sound will have been adopted. Actually, this one can be true. So you can see, for example, American English. There are a lot of words that have changed and been spelled as they sound. It is different from the British English. So this one we can say that it is true. English will have become a language of condensed words. Here we have the word condensed. Let's see. Now here we can see that these are mountains. They should be very big. They should be tough to climb. But there is a condensed or short summary how to go to the top. A short summary. So it's the same as I say condensed. So they say that English is the same. It will be about condensed, or it will be become a language of condensed words. So this one is no, not true until now. And the last idea, English will also be more extensively spoken than any other language. Russian will rank second. So we have here the word extensively. We can see this picture. Now you can see the view of the city. It is a big or a wide photo of the big city. It is extensive. So we have here, this photo was extensively taken. You can see everything in it. So we have here, let's just go back to the sentence. We have here, just to relate, we have here English will also be more extensively spoken than any other language. And the last word that we have here is the word rank. Now, English is going to be first, and then Russian will be ranked second. So we have here, this is the kind of rank that I am using. So this one, basically, yes, it can be true that it is extensively spoken, although the Russian part is not. Okay, after that we have here the word, or we have the part about transportation. Now also, I want you to read with me. We have here transportation. Cars will be cheaper than horses are today. Automobiles will be, or automobiles, sorry, will have been substituted for every horse vehicle now known. A 1-pound motor in one of these vehicles will do the work of a pair of horses or more. There will be airships, but they will not successfully compete with cars and ships for passenger or freight traffic. They will be used mainly by military. So let's just go by and see. Cars will be cheaper than horses are today. Actually, this depends on what the car is. So we can say that this may be true, this may be false. Why? Now, some cars are very cheap, they are very old, that horses may be more expensive. But if you have an expensive car, of course it is going to be more expensive than the horse. So here there is a kind of point of view. It depends on your point of view. What is it? So this may be true or not true. The second idea that we have, automobiles will have been substituted for every horse vehicle unless you are moving or using horses for transportation. This sentence is true, or this prediction. There will be airships. It depends also on what was the writer thinking about. If he meant airplanes, it's true. If he meant, for example, flying vehicles or flying people using machines or something, like backpacks, this one is false. So it depends on your imagination or your point of view. We have here, we can put both. Okay, moving on. We have here traffic. Traffic here is an issue that we have. We're going to see what they had as a prediction. There will be no traffic on the streets of large cities. All traffic, including subways, cars, and buses, will be either below ground or high above ground. Moving sidewalk stairways will connect them to the street level. The vehicles on the busy underground and overhead streets will have cushioned wheels. Therefore, there will be almost no noise in cities. So actually, this is something funny to imagine. Just imagine that wheels are cushioned and there is no sound. So the basic predictions that we have here, we can see no traffic on the streets of large cities. So 100% not true. We can see also another prediction is yes, we have here traffic will be either below ground or high above ground. It may be true if you are thinking about tunnels or bridges. Why not? Another thing or another prediction, we can say moving sidewalk stairs, 100% not true. Actually, the first one, it depends also on your point of view. So there is, or your imagination. It can be true or not. But if you are just thinking about bridges and tunnels, it may be true. And we have here moving side stairways, 100% no. And we have the last one, the cushioned wheels, also no. Moving on, media. Now, before we complete, now you can realize the kind of imagination that I'm asking you to use for the next step, which is the you thinking about the next 100 years. So look at the things that we passed by and we are going to complete. We have here media. Photographs will be telegraphed from any distance. If there is an important event happening halfway around the world, photographs of the event will be published in newspapers an hour later. So this is obvious and this is very clear that it is true. We have a main prediction here that photos will be telegraphed, like the kind of connection that we are having now. But of course we have here a video kind of communication. So it is, yes, true. Deliveries. When people make purchases from stores, their purchases will be delivered by tubes. So just imagine that when you are sitting at home and you are ordering something, there is a tube from the store to your house. And just imagine that each house has this kind of tube. So we have these tubes will be connected from the store to houses. These tubes will also collect, deliver, and transport mail over distances, perhaps for hundreds of miles. So this one is very clear that it is one idea, or basically it is two if you are going to take it in different meanings, but they all lead to one. And of course they are both not true. Leading or going to our last idea here, we have here communication. Now wireless telephone circuits will span the world. A person in New York will easily be able to call someone in China. The idea is very clear, yes, but we have here two words. We have here, the basic idea is that wireless telephone circuits, okay. We have the word circuits here. Now here, they are wireless, which means that we have phones, we have mobiles, we have the internet in general, computers, devices, iPads, laptops, whatever, any kind. They are all related or connected to each other by using these kinds of circuits. So yes, we can say that this idea is true. And these circuits will span. We have the other word, the word span here. What does it mean? We can see, like, for example, this bridge here. Now, if you can just recall the bridge that we have between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. It spans between the two countries here. So we have here, these circuits span worldwide. We're close to the meaning of span now. So here, yes, it is true. Now we have passed by all the ideas or predictions. You know, some of them are true, some of them are not. Here, predictions in general, as I told you before, and I remind you that they mean something that is related to the future. We have here, these predictions can be different from one person to another. As I said, some people, when they listen to the word future, they think about their own personal future, their businesses, their jobs, their studies. It can be a point of view, why not? It can be technology, it can be different things that you are using or you want to use. You can relate to any idea that you have. So just start thinking from now about things that can be related to 100 years from now. Here, this is the idea that we have. Now moving back to our words that we had, we passed by the 6 words, and now we can relate to the meaning by reading the meanings and just match. So we have the first one, extend across, shortened, covering a wide range or area, like the picture that I showed you. It covered a wide range. We have position in an ordered group, like Russian and English. We have paths for electrical currents. And we have here decided. I decided, yes, it's going to happen, I'm sure. So let's go back to the words. We have the first one, circuits. We just took it now. We just passed by it, yes. So it's going to be paths of electrical currents. Condensed, when I said that English may be condensed. We have here shortened. Determined, I am sure it's going to be, yes, F, decided. Extensively, so like the picture that I showed you, it's extensive or extensively taken. We have here C, covering a wide range. The rank, like English and Russian, we can say that it is position of an ordered group, D. And the last one, span, of course it's going to be, we have here extend across, which is A. So this is the exercise that you have in your book. You have an assignment to do, which is the next part. Of course, we have here work with a partner to make predictions about the year 2100, which is what I just mentioned to you. And the basic thing here that I want from you is these questions that we have here on page 35. You have 3 questions that are direct from the reading or from the listening part that we had, the discussion mainly. And 2, it depends on your point of view. So that's why I mixed and said some of these answers or the predictions, it depends on your point of view. Maybe you have some kind of point of view, imagination, or your vision is different from someone else. You're okay with it. So just read the questions, take your time, and try to answer personally as possible. So this leads to our outline of the day. We have here, we defined the vocabulary, we discussed future predictions, we listed future changes, we read short texts, and we searched for facts within the texts, which are our predictions, and we summarized what is true and what is not true. So work on your predictions, think about them, answer your questions, and we will complete in the next lesson, inshallah.